Tonight, harrowing new video from a daring rescue on 94 in St. Paul. Passerbys pulling a driver from a car in flames. And this happened during evening rush hour on Thursday. NBC's Hallie Jackson spoke with the Minnesota driver who captured that video about how everything played out.
The horrific scene off I-94 in Minnesota. A car crashing into a lamppost up in flames. The driver trapped.
People still inside it.
Then, one after the other, Good Samaritans pulling over, racing to help. You can see them desperately trying to pull the car door open as it jammed up against the guardrail.
There's a moment where we thought we literally lost him.
But the flames erupting, chasing the bystanders away. Undeterred, they rush back in, a highway worker finally smashing the window open, the group pulling the driver to safety, right as the fire burst into the front seat.
This is something that I will never forget. It's a good feeling to know that you saved somebody's life.
Wow, I think that clip just single-handedly restored my faith in humanity. Those people were awesome. I love it. USA! USA! Awesome. Whoa, who was that masked water truck? It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a water truck? What? Out of the blue? Anyways, I don't know if that was part of the fire department or if that was just a lucky moment caught on camera where a water truck driver's driving by and just psh. Either way, he was quicker on the gig than those guys in the red truck, that's for sure.
Now we're starting off with some breaking news in Richfield where a house has exploded, injuring a woman. Let's get right out to Gordon Severson, who's been there for the past couple of hours. Gordon, what can you tell us?
Yeah, this is the home here behind me. As you can see, just about a half hour ago, they actually pushed down the roof of the building. But when we got here this morning, there was obvious signs of an explosion. The walls were pushed out, the windows were blown out. The fire chief tells me that the first people that were here were actually Hennepin County deputies because they were in the neighborhood serving a warrant. They got the call, they came out here, and they heard one person screaming for help. They were able to pull that person to safety. A family member tells me that the owner here actually tells me that it was her mother who was inside the home, and she had a minor head injury from being thrown because of the explosion, but she is expected to be okay. Fire officials were worried about this second home over here, the fire spreading over there, but they tell me that the wind kind of helped them out with that. It did not catch fire, but they did find another fire at actually a house 3 houses down over here. There was a shed behind this tan house over here, as you can see behind me here. Fire officials believe that a piece of debris flew from this house because of the explosion, landed in that shed in the backyard, and started the shed on fire. We spoke with the owner of that home and that shed, and he said it's a total loss. They're still trying to figure out exactly what kind of debris flew over there. Now, they are still investigating to figure out exactly how this fire started. Their working theory is that it's some sort of a gas leak, some sort of a gas explosion. You can see behind me here, there is a pile of dirt here next to the street. We did see CenterPoint Energy out here earlier this morning digging that hole, possibly looking at some sort of a gas line. But at this time, they're not 100% sure if that is how the fire started. But there's obviously a lot of action still going on here. They're still looking into the house, looking for hot spots, making sure it doesn't ignite again.
89-year-old man, 87-year-old woman killed in house explosion. Fire, complete devastation. The whole lot was just completely leveled, a witness said. An 89-year-old man and an 87-year-old woman were killed when their house exploded and caught on fire in Pennsylvania, authorities said. The victims were identified as David Mitchell Jr. and Helen Mitchell. The Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office said the explosion in Crescent Township, just outside of Pittsburgh, was reported at 8:54 a.m. Tuesday. Local officials said the home was completely leveled by the blast and the fire was throughout the house foundation and along the hillside, authorities said. We all felt and heard the explosion, Allegheny County Division Fire Chief Andrew Tomer said in the news conference. You could feel it in your chest. No injuries were reported, Tomer said. When the explosion happened, I thought either a truck hit our building or something happened within our factory. John Bundy, who works at a factory in the area, told NBC, we saw like a mushroom cloud explosion. Amazing. These natural gas explosions are huge. Look at this, you guys. Dang. Just toothpicks left. Bundy said he and his nephew jumped in my truck and we drove to try to find the scene. And when we got there, we were along with 2 other gentlemen first on the scene and we saw what was going on. and we, with caution, ran up to the house. Bundy said another man ran right into the flames and was screaming and asking for survivors, and it was just really impressive to see. Oh, America, I love you. We did see a lady come out of her house with the windows were all blown out, and she was holding a baby, Bundy said. She said her parents lived at the house that exploded. Oh, my goodness. And we went to her right away because obviously, you know, she needed consoling, and it was just a bad scene. Oh, my goodness, you guys. It was complete devastation, and when we first arrived on the scene, Tomer said, the whole lot was just completely leveled, nothing remaining. Logan Baraka, Bundy's nephew, said, at least 2 other homes were damaged, Tomer said. The cause of the explosion has not been determined, officials said. There was a natural gas on site from a private well. There was also propane on site from a private well. Wellity, wellity, well. Wow. I remember when I lived in downtown Nashville, just a few blocks from where my apartment was, a natural gas explosion happened right on the Broadway there and killed, I believe, a tourist or 2 and a worker. But hey, this is a growing problem. This is all across the nation. It's not just in these old cities like Nashville, and it's towns and neighborhoods everywhere. And so check out what your situation is like in your neighborhood. Natural gas leak caused home explosion that killed father of Titans quarterback Caleb Farley. Investigators determined that a natural gas leak was the cause of a home explosion in North Carolina that killed the father of Tennessee Titans cornerback Caleb Farley, according to the Airedale County Fire Services. Emergency officials said in a statement, which was obtained by The Athletic, further investigation of the origin of the explosion cannot continue because of the instability of the remaining structure. Okay. The explosion occurred on August 21st in Mooresville, North Carolina, a home owned by Farley, who was not at home at the time of the incident. Farley's father, 61-year-old Robert M. Farley, was found dead after the search in the debris, according to the statement. Okay, 1 victim was also transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Titans safety Kevin Byard told members of the media that the team was supporting Farley. I know he lost his mother at a young age as well, so he's dealt with a lot of adversity as well. Baird said, so very tragic. And, you know, it's a team and a brother. We all love him. Okay, so Farley, age 24, was selected by the Titans. So this young man, only 24 years old, bought a house for his father, and tragedy. So couldn't have foreseen it. It's a growing problem in America. I think we have ourselves an infrastructure problem, folks.
Home explosions rocked neighborhoods from coast to coast in 2023, and our Spotlight on America team learned it was the deadliest year for catastrophic blasts in nearly 20 years. Montana residents are seeing firsthand what home explosions can do. We told you about explosions that leveled houses in Montana earlier this year, one in Missoula in January and another in Big Sky less than 3 weeks ago. Investigative correspondent Angie Moreski has been tracking home explosions nationwide for months and takes a closer look at what's causing them and whether you should be worried about your home.
This catastrophic home explosion captured on doorbell video was the deadliest nationwide in 2023, killing 6 people in the suburban neighborhood of Rustic Ridge, just east of Pittsburgh. These are just some of the sudden, devastating explosions that made 2023 the deadliest year since 2004 for gas-fed explosions, with 23 fatalities, more than 4 times higher than the year before. Rich Meyer is a fire explosion investigator.
How often is it natural gas pipelines involved?
Probably half or more.
Aging infrastructure, old corroded gas pipelines are more likely to crack and leak, increasing the risk, he says, of gas migrating underground into people's homes and causing explosions.
There are lines that have been in place for over 100 years, and they are breaking.
Besides aging infrastructure, other significant issues that can cause leaks that lead to explosions include construction work, where pipes can be damaged during digging, and malfunctioning equipment. Malfunctioning equipment was the cause of a massive deadly explosion in 2016 in Silver Spring, Maryland at the Flower Branch Apartments. 5 adults and 2 children died.
Sometimes when I come out, I think I can smell it.
Isidro Vargas will never forget the terror of that night.
I saw people jumping from the building. It's been terrible, I can tell you.
Investigators concluded a malfunctioning mercury regulator on a gas meter caused the deadly blast. And human error caused a massive explosion here just a few miles away in 2022 at the Friendly Garden Apartments, also in Silver Spring. A maintenance worker doing repairs accidentally cut a gas line instead of a water line.
That one.
Alex Jacqua lives at Friendly Garden.
Boom. And then when I look out through the window, and then I saw the flame.
The National Transportation Safety Board investigates major explosions that lead to fatalities, significant injury, and property loss. But not all explosions are required to be reported to the federal government, making it harder to determine patterns across the country.
What would the benefit of having a comprehensive database be?
The more information you have, the better armed you are when it comes to fixing the problem.
If you use gas in your home, one way to protect yourself is to get an in-home gas detector. I got this one on Amazon for 20 bucks. All you do is plug it into the wall near a gas appliance. Then, if gas builds up, an alarm sounds warning you to get out. A small investment to potentially save lives. For Spotlight on America, I'm Angie Moreski.
Spotlight on America requested an interview with the U.S. Fire Administration to talk about the data and find out why there is not a more comprehensive nationwide database keeping track of all these explosions. FEMA declined to speak with Spotlight on America, but our Spotlight team is continuing to push for an interview to answer these important questions for you.
Thanks for watching. It's too late tonight, folks. And I guess if your house explodes, that's the ultimate SHTF moment, and it's definitely too late then. But seeing that this is a growing crisis in America, we know that I guess the least we can do is go get those little detectors from Amazon and keep the batteries changed so they won't be chirping away when we're on Zoom.